welcome to another video, guys. Thanks for tuning in again. Try to be consistent with the uploads, then, you know. But thanks for the support. Don't forget, continue support the channel, like it, share it, and yeah, just like, share, and just subscribe and share it to your friend and whosoever your auntie your family. Now, today now, I just want to talk about a little thing I've always been I think about from at all the time, but it's just one of them thoughts that we have where you just never really to say out loud. But now I think maybe think out loud and just talk about it. So today now I just want to talk about, you know, my views on life from versus childhood and adulthood. How I view life versus the other. No, obviously we are going to view life differently because we're mature now and we get older and stuff like that. So we have certain views or outlook we used to have. Obviously, we are going to look on things differently and we're going to learn new things. But some of the things that I want to talk about is just basically like I come to realize people what they look up to as children growing up, as kids growing up. Like when you reach adulthood now, you just realize they are also humans too, right? So they're not perfect. So when I grow up and we look up to our parents or we look up to certain people in our family, right? And you think okay, they know it all and you just look up to them because you're just a child, I'm an adult, so you just look up to them and you just think they know everything and. But when you become an adult now, realize that you're just humans too, just like everybody else, and it's their first time living life too, just like we. So it's everybody's first time living this journey called life. So nobody is perfect. So when you get big now, you realize that they're not perfect. And just like everybody else, them have them flaws, them have them ways. Sometimes you even hear them say things where, yeah, things are boy, you'd expect better from that person. But that person who you did see them as a child, your views on them kind of change as an adult because now how them used to interact with you as a child, it's like a different from how them interact with you as an adult. So now you kind of see certain ways about the person where you never usually see before. And then you come to the realization, say, oh, you look up to this person and you think that this person was, you just have them on a certain pedestal. And then you realize, then life just happened. And then, you realize that, okay, then this person is actually just a human being with flaws and imperfections, just like anybody else. So you realize them not perfect. Them not perfect. You start see certain ways about them when you never normally see before. And I've been through an experience like that where, persons know me from I'm a child growing up and then when I get big now as an adult, I kind of view them a bit different from how we view them as a child. And I'm not gonna lie, some of it was a bit disappointing, you know, because you think you those type of people would have a certain type of relationships, them know you from you're a child growing up. But we just learn to accept life and just realize that it's just a learning process as we go along. Like nobody is perfect. Everybody have them flaws, everybody have them ways, everybody have them good ways, everybody have them bad ways. You know? So when something in our life happen now and that person who usually look up to disappoint with, it's just part of the learning process of life. It's just like certain people you would hear them of them celebrity. Like, you look up to a certain artist, right? And you've been and listen to this artist from your go school and everything like that. And now that say you get big now and you become a part of the industry, or you just get a chance to just be in the artist circle. sometimes when I hear people come out and say, the artists, what them they look up to, when them get to know them and get to know the person who they are, and realize that artist, is some good, some bad, but everybody have them ways and nobody the perfect, you know. So the world can be a harsh place, and the world can be it's also it's a mixture. It's good and bad. So the world can be a good place and a bad place. But it's just that the views on me we have on life. Growing up, the views nobody have on life. Alright. To me personally, I feel like say the view upon life was a bit more the world is seem like a much kinder place. Right? The world seem like a more kinder place. Because kind of place meaning like we used to view life as everybody kind, everybody playful, everybody joyful and all of that. But the thing is, as a child growing up, what I realized like people just kind to you because you're a child, so somebody see you, then play with you, hey, good morning, how are you today? What do you want to be when you grow up? All of that. So, and all of them little things like that. People they just are humans. They just come off as so kind-hearted, and you just feel like the world is this big, kind place, which it is to some extent. But when you reach adulthood, now you realize that life is kind of harsh sometimes because you're adult. Nobody now go see you and play with you and say, hey, how you doing? What you want to be? You're not going to get none of that. So it's like people, it's like when you're younger, you look up to certain people. Like it could be like your parents, um, just elderly people, your teachers, all of those type of people. We used to like look up to them, and you just see these people and just think, so oh, they're all knowing and they teach you wrong from right and all of these things. But when we get older now, you realize that these people, whether it be your parents or step parents or whatever the case may be, as you get older, you realize that they're just humans. They're just human beings. Them have them flaws. They're not perfect. Now, when me the younger, my chicks are them be perfect. You know what I mean? So, but as I get older, we just realize that them are human beings just like anybody else, and it's their first time too. It's their first time living life, just like we. So all of us are go through life being first timers, or the first time the whole of it I live life. This is the first time all of us, first experience. So we just learn as we go along. So we used to look on them as perfect, but we just realize, they're not perfect. Them have them flaws. Them have them disagreements with people too. Everybody have them disagreements with people and stuff like that. And maybe not you and everybody can say eye to eye, but you have your disagreements. You're the perfect. You have your ways. You have your flaws. You have all of them something, and you may not learn it being a child, but when you get older and become an adult, you learn those stuff. You learn that okay then I'm a mother, I'm a father, but at the end of the day, in the perfect. You know what I say? So if somebody come and tell me something about like my mother or my father or anything like that, like we can't say, oh nothing of us because at the end of the day, they're not perfect, you know? Because me have instances where stuff like that happened to me and I'm not gonna lie, like but they a bit disappointed when I find out some things and certain reality start come to me. So but you just think say, it was a bit disappointing, but I just realized say people are people regardless them be your parents, their parents, family, people are people and everybody have them flaws and them ways. So the certain outlook where you used to have or certain views where you used to have as a child, you don't necessarily have that about them when you get older. The views kind of change. Another thing to what I realized too, how I view life versus how I view life as an adult, because the way how I view life as a child is totally different from how I view it as an adult. The third thing is the world can be a harsh place. You know, being young, you just think that everybody was just kind and jovial, and you just it's like you watch a cartoon where the sun attack, and it's just rainbows and unicorns and everybody just happy. You know what I mean? So it kind of like that, but no, you're right. I said the world can be a harsh place, because sometimes when you watch the news and you hear certain things that happen, and you know, police brutality and how police, deal with residents, and what I say, it's like growing up, them always make you look up to certain profession like police, soldier, and all of them stuff, right? But when you get big now, you realize, say, okay, police, soldier, and all of them things, they like, it's not the picture what them try to paint on TV what we used to watch growing up. Police can be, not all of them, but them can try to have it, abuse them power and try to exercise them power towards you. Now, it never personally happened to me, but things what I say other people experience. So that is where I say the world can be a harsh place, and not just all with just police coming on about the field that say pick on police and soldier. But the truth is the truth and the reality is the reality. And we all say where police abuse them power all the time, and you see residents come out and protest and all of these things. But the point is that the world is not all sunshine and rainbow like what we thought as kids. The world can be a harsh place. You know, yeah, it's just a reality of life. But the thing is, though, growing up and maturing, we all learn we learn common courtesy and how to be polite and treat others and all of them things, is because as kids we would have tease each other, because everybody experienced some form of maybe bullying, being in school and all of that. But as you get older, people mature now, and people just grow up and learn. So, we're kind of to each other in that sense, in a sense. But certain things can still be harsh. Like, for example, social media. Social media can be harsh. Post a video, people are gonna post them opinions. People are gonna be brutal with you, all of them something. So it's a give and take. It's a give and take, So yeah, the world can be a harsh place. When you're younger, everybody is so kind to you, especially adults. Because when an adult see you, them greet you, them play with you, them do all sorts of things to you, and you just feel like, wow, this is the world. But when you get big now, you're no longer a child. Nobody not gonna see you and play with you, and what I say, and all of those things. So you realize, okay, you're an adult now, so people are gonna treat you like an adult. You're no longer a child. So certain things kind of change, and you just maybe because maybe because I was a child, my things of the world was always gonna be like that, but obviously not. So another thing I'm gonna learn now since being an adult versus my outlook on life when I was a child is you have to know how to deal with people, because I learned this, that everybody have different personalities and everybody is different, and you have to learn how to adjust each person and them persona and them personality, because yeah, you probably have a one, say, what do you call it now, you probably have a one friend. I remember it's a co-worker. You probably have a one co-worker. I think this is a better scenario. You can run joke with a co-worker there, because your co-worker, you're virgin, you probably hang out outside of work and all of that. So you and that person relationship is kind of different. Whereas you can also certain things, you can run certain joke. But when you come on to know the boss or the supervisor, you probably cannot run certain joke like how you run with you. friend or your coworker or whatever the case may be. You cannot say certain things and you cannot run certain jokes. So you have to learn how to adjust to each personality and not just supervisor and coworker, but it can be even other coworkers too. You maybe don't hang out with. You have to learn how to adjust to certain people because everybody personality is different. You know, you maybe can say something to this person and them just know it's okay, that's a joke. But you cannot maybe say it to an next person because they may receive it a different way, right? Even though your intentions behind it is not harmful. So people take things differently and it all depends on your relationship with the person, I guess too. That has a lot to do with it. So if you want somebody's not like, fun you want somebody's not on certain level, obviously go, but you just have to be careful on how you speak to people and how you interact with people and you just have to learn how to adjust to each person and their personality and everything like that. Some people are sensitive, some people are thin skinned, some people are thick skinned. Like everybody is different. So you just have to know how to interact with people as you go through life and work and everything like that you know. But the thing is, life is just different, like the outlook we used to have on life is not the same outlook we have on life now as an adult. A lot of things you kind of learn and you kind of realize and you just, you just start to see things beyond just surface level. And you just look beyond the surface. So it's just really that, what I say? And and another thing I'm learn to in a life is that I always hear them say the saying, donkey say the word a level. And trust me, I come for know what that means. Trust me, this world is not fair. I'm not even want to say this world of fear. Humans the fear. Because sometimes well, sometimes you just it's basically self-explanatory. The world just a level. Like somebody can do something and you do something and the two want to do the same thing, but at the end of the day, everybody turn a blind eye to the person here and just put all of the blame on the person here, right? So it's like the world a level, everybody don't get treated equally, like and I always think about that too because even people who know them have certain power and certain privilege, them don't treat others fairly. And some of the time, these people are people that are Christians and are going church. They might go church on a weekend, but during the week, I don't know what changed during the week, you know. But them not treat people fairly because, alright, say you have certain power. You speak to people in a tone or a manner that you would like to be spoken to in. You may say certain things that you would like somebody to say to you. You know, like there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. So I realize that say, yeah, the world really the level for you. People do not treat others fairly. For some reason I don't know why. Because even the Bible tell you say, do unto others as you will have them do unto you. And I think that's a part in the Bible where a lot of people disobey or them look over, them look past it. Nobody, we should do it, but we don't do it because oftentimes we do things to people where we surely would want for ourselves. We would want it for ourselves. So a lot of times I see that happen too. It happen like in the workplace. It happen just in a everyday life. So you just realize say, oh, this world is just the world can be a nice place, you know, especially when you surround yourself with people where genuinely love and care for you and check for you. But it also can be a bad place too. But it's just the reality of life and it's just I guess everybody I forgot you that, as you get maybe some people realize it from childhood days or whatever, but everybody learn from a different pace. But I just realized that, certain outlook and views somebody have as a child and life is just totally different now from how I look and view life now as an adult, you know. So it's just some of those things and give another account. I remember going to school, right? And when I was we never have disagreements as kids. But sometimes when we have disagreements as kids, one day you and your friend have a disagreement, and by the next day, you and your friend good again, and want to turn back friend, and want to mesh, and want to turn back friend. As an adult now, I realize that changed. The dynamics of that change. It's totally different. You see, now as an adult, if you and a person have a disagreement, and you and a person fall out, you and a person that probably malice and talk about, never. Sometimes when we probably end up talking about that are like probably weeks or months. But some of the cases then we not end up talking about because you gotta hear certain things like, the person, the energy, the match my energy, and you don't want certain type of people in your circle and rare and all type of things. So it shows that the dynamics are certain, even the way our communicate and deal with conflict is way different. Now we'll probably deal with it on a more mature level now, but I don't know, it's not for the good or for the better because at the end of the day, you and a person that probably deal with again. You know what I said? Or if it's a case where you and a person start talk back, it's not the same as what it used to be before. So things kind of change. So maybe you kind of cross certain boundaries with that person, you know. And another thing is people with different personality and personality traits. So it's like you have to know how to adjust to each person. So, for example, in a high school, me and my friend them used to run one heap of joke. We call each other name, we jeer each other, run joke. And you know how them thing they go, them thing they can get sensitive sometimes because when people start run joke on you and you can't take it, them thing will make you go for their feelings and get vexed. So, but we used to that because in high school we run joke and we call each other name and we say all type of things and run joke because at the end of the day sometimes it can't hurt still but you have to know if you can angle them joke there. I just know so at the end of the day, alright then I just my time for just get picked on and I just joke. Next day I have somebody else time to get picked on and so we just run joke, no hard feelings. As an adult, I realize you have to know how to run joke with certain people because at the end of the day, some people will grow up certain way. So you can maybe say something to somebody. It can be just a simple joke and you say something to somebody and the person take it offensive. And you'll be like, why you take that so offensive? And then person I go be like, yo, you can't do alright, like for instance now, if you say something like, yo, I don't even know what example to use, but just example say, you and your friend them would run joke and say, yo, yeah, you that man, you can't do that. As an adult now, if you go say that to somebody was sensitive and thin skin and say, yeah, idiot man, you can't do that. Why you call me idiot? Why you call me idiot? You hear me call you idiot? Why you refer to me as that? I never call you that. I not grow up them way there. I not grow up nobody call me an idiot or whatever. So you start get defensive and thin skin. So you realize that the grow like the dynamic different. Like so yeah, so it's just a bit more harsher or reality more kick in. But at the end of the day, where humans are very kind and very I guess it depends because when you're a child and you do something wrong, you probably get a pop on the hand and say, do it again or you get punishment or something like that. But as an adult, you go out there in the world and you do something wrong. Say it's harsh punishment. So it depends on what you do and it depends on the state of the wrongdoing what you do. You can either face a fine, go prison, jail, all of them something like that. You know what I mean? Say? So You know, so certain things are very different in comparison, you know. So things, I don't know if may I leave out anything, but if may I leave out anything and anything else come to me, you know, come really attack off at the top of my head. So if anything else come to me, I'll probably do a part two to this. So them are just some of the things that I'm say, alright, I'm gonna just talk about them and just hear them out and just, you know, just give my little 2 cents on it. So if you make it this to this end of the video, really thank you and I appreciate it. And don't forget to like the video, don't forget to share the video, and don't forget to become a subscriber because more videos are come. I'm gonna try to be more consistent with the videos then. And maybe in the future I'm gonna try to do some vlogs and stuff like that because really want to get into a lot more things, you know, so there's a lot more things to come. So thanks for watching guys and thanks for making it to the end of the video and really appreciate it and we're gone.